Our report looks at the future of electricity supply in the next 20 years based on alternative future development by scenario planning. In the electricity supply industry, we see the biggest issue is the range of resource depletion, and the biggest impact is the development of the innovative technology. The four scenarios in this report are development on those two factors. The four scenarios are lights out, flip the switch, industrial collapse, and peace on Earth.
The first major issue revolves around Australia and the world's use of fossil fuels. Planet Earth is rich in resources, but that pool can become quickly depleted if there isn't proper resource management in place. Thus, it is important that we are able to educate the business world in the pros and cons associated with fossil fuel usage in generating electricity. There are two ends to this spectrum: conservative use due to the awareness raised of potential damage it can cause, and misuse or overuse due to complete disregard of its impact. The second major issue centers around the growth of innovative technology in the energy industry. The world has exponentially grown in its capacity to develop new technology that can help us in everyday life. However, it is difficult to know what innovations are relevant to our respective industries. Within the energy industry, the two ends of the spectrum revolve around old and new technology, and whether or not companies have opted to update and modernize their facilities or remain with traditional coal-powered factories.
Well, what does this all mean? Well, with our two uncertainties, we are able to create our four scenarios, which we will go in depth for you now, starting with industrial collapse. This scenario is based on a world where natural resources have been depleted and there has been no innovative technology introduced, with focus being placed on traditional methods of generating electricity. By 2021, reports from the media and CSIRO indicate the dwindling supply of coal within Australia, causing coal prices to skyrocket. With the energy industry depending on coal, this price spike causes an increase of resources being poured into energy companies just to sustain the exponential growth of electricity demand. As a result, the resources previously used to research innovative energy methods, as well as current methods such as solar and hydro, have been cut in order to upkeep coal usage. This unsustainable method has caused drastic social and environmental backlashes, with an increase in air toxicity due to air pollutants such as nitrogen oxides and sulfur dioxide being more present. With this decrease in air quality, there has been an increase in health problems, primarily amongst the growing middle class, who struggle to afford the required medical treatment. With the carbon tax being removed in 2027, environmental consequence for energy companies has been less of a concern as they continue to burn fossil fuels. Energy companies have neglected to improve their technology, which has caused blackouts to become regular occurrence by the 2030s due to the gradual increase of demand. 2037 is a time with no available fossil fuels remaining to mine in Australia and a brewing conflict for the remaining resources worldwide.
The second scenario is based on electricity supply wholly through new technology, as the world has completely drained all natural resources. For many decades, people used the world's resources at an unsustainable rate, leaving no resources for future generations. People in the 2010s ignored the warnings from scientists that the world's consumption of finite resources was unsustainable. From 2017 onwards, there continues to be major disagreements and conflict between countries. This has been the focus of governments. There remains a lack of long-term strategy on electricity supply. Australia can no longer rely on the economic benefits from the exports of the coal industry. With no natural resources to rely on, and the costly effects of productivity decrease has encouraged entrepreneurs, scientists, designers, engineers and investors to collaborate on research to develop new technology for electricity supply. In the late 2030s, renewable electricity has become the social norm. Globalization has helped the collaboration of new innovative ideas from a wide range of resources. Electricity supply has had to keep up with the increase in demand due to the growing middle class and urbanization. New technology has been the only way to meet this demand. In 2037, it is a time of high technology to overcome the problems caused decades earlier on the Earth. The world is now saturated with technology.
The third scenario, lights out, is based on the assumption that while the whole world slows down on consumption of fossil fuels, little renewable energy generating technology has emerged. In 2017, people have realised the irreversible damage done to the environment by consuming fossil fuels, and sustainability has become a widely held societal value. Therefore, there was a rapid shift in the will to save energy. Many organisations and governments around the world start to collaborate to try and develop new technology and to utilise renewable energy. In 2018, positive environmental effects are beginning to show, although by 2020 an economic issue arises as it becomes difficult to maintain normal production activities and several organisations are closed. The supply of energy continues to struggle keeping up with the demand for energy, and several energy blackouts occur by 2025. Unfortunately, by 2030, due to lack of sufficient technology, energy and funds, the research process is slow and is not quick enough to keep up with the increasing demand due to rapidly growing middle class and urbanisation. There are also no major breakthroughs in renewable energy technology. Under these circumstances, there are many global conflicts in the world between the groups of people who want to save the fossil energy and other groups of people who insist on draining the resources. By 2035, the governments have set up new policy and legislation on changing this situation, such as imposing even higher tax on consumption of fossil fuels. And lastly, in 2037, the world is faced with a difficult dilemma of whether to start using fossil fuels again or to keep looking for better technology. Peace on Earth, the fourth scenario, involves rapid growth in technology innovation, with most of the world powers and leaders collectively employing environmental sustainability, while fossil fuels as a source of electricity have become a thing of the past. In 2018, technology is increasing at a far more rapid pace, becoming easier to access with new media platforms being created, which is making it easier for people to be connected and share information with one another from all different parts of the world. By 2022, the environmental effects of climate change are worsening, with global warming and through an increased number of storms, droughts and other climate issues throughout the world. Technological advancement has allowed millions of people to understand and witness these environmental changes and its increasing effects over various forms of media such as live stream. However, 2026 is introduced with natural disasters. The severe melting of ice caps and the near engulfment of whole islands from rising sea levels has served as a reality check for the world, creating social and political turmoil over the incoming waves of refugees, among other things. The UN begins to prioritise the UNEP program to focus on solving environmental issues. In 2030, societal value of sustainability and lifestyle choice lead to the implication of legislation promoting a transition away from fossil fuels to keep up with the increasing pressure for more sustainable practices. Governments are being switched to more environmentally focused political parties such as the Greens. There is a temporary decline in economic growth due to the vast changes in the industry, though most countries are successfully transitioning to sustainable energy, while a handful of nations are still using fossil fuels, which cause some conflict. Technology in 2035 continues to develop more rapidly, creating multiple new sustainable sources and systems for renewable energy, drawing the world further away from fossil fuels and reinforces the world's deepening value of sustainability for a clean and healthy Earth. Economic growth has recovered while the UN and world superpowers attempt to ease tensions over the continued use of fossil fuels, working with the remaining countries to revert from fossil fuel use. Innovative technology in 2037 results in the worldwide use of multiple variations of sustainable energy sources. Fossil fuels have become an outdated, non-profitable source, resulting in the remaining countries transitioning to sustainable energy, and fossil fuels are finally outlawed by the UN.
The future does not look bright if the electricity industry continues as business as usual. Change will be required to meet major increases in demand. Our recommendation is to act now to force change. Private industry and government investments into research and development to create new innovative products through technology advancements. Organisations must collaborate and put their best resources towards the issue. Education is important to allow change and for renewable energy to become the new social norm.